We went to Europe and filmed the video for Destination Unknown at the condemned Royal Agricultural Hall. It was a dreary, run-down, castle-like building that hadn't been used in years. It was scheduled to be a 2-day shoot. While doing the last shot of the first day, I was running down this dark hallway and passed through this array of fellows. I slipped in my little dress and my little shoes, and I went flying. I smashed my face into this big, rusty pipe that was coming out of the wall. The right side of my face split open. It was horrible. I got myself off the ground, and everyone was looking at me and mumbling. I put my hand to my cheek, and all this blood was pouring out. I was holding my face together. I said, "Quick! I've got to go to the hospital." In the video, we had this giant Rolls Royce that drove us around. Warren threw me in the back of it and handed me the cognac from the bar in the car. I was guzzling it, trying to numb the pain. I was freaking out. I was in the back seat with Warren, and he kept repeating, "It's going to be all right. You're going to be all right." We got to the hospital. They have free medicine in England, so they took me right in and fixed me up. They pieced my face together with strip bandages, not stitches. Then the doctor asked, "Should we stitch it?" I begged him not to. "Just stick it back together." I had to get up the next day at 8 a.m. to finish the video. I was crying in this strange bed, in this strange hotel, crying for my mother. The phone rang right at 8 a.m. Time for makeup. Makeup? My nose was swollen and I was black and blue. If you go back and look closely at the video, it looks like somebody punched me in the nose, hard. You can see my face is bruised and swollen. I got to set and looked at the strip bandages on my face and asked, "What am I going to do with that?" I looked on the floor and saw a piece of glass that had fallen off the mirrored glass Pegasus in the video. I picked up a shard of broken glass and glued it to my face to cover the strip bandages. I went on from there. I have no use for time. Every day was the same for me in LA. I just don't care about time. Terry and I got the lyrics for Words and Destination Unknown from things I said in real life. He used to track me. And I don't even know the time of day. I guess it doesn't matter anyway. I was with Terry for 9 3/4 years, and I never got pregnant. Terry didn't want me to have a child. He worried it would ruin my figure and that would fuck up missing persons. It was all about the music for me and Terry. Frank Zappa instilled that in us. Terry didn't want me to do so many things. He didn't want me to have a child. He didn't want me to take drugs or drink. He didn't want me to talk on TV. I was supposed to just sit quietly in the corner till it was time to go on stage. Terry wanted to be the voice of the band. If you see the old clips from our Entertainment Tonight interview at Capitol Studios, Terry did all the talking. The woman asked a question and Terry said, "Oh, I can answer that for you. Dale is a rule breaker. She breaks all the rules." I looked at him like, "What the fuck are you doing? You don't talk about me like that on TV." But instead of saying that, I was silent. I barely talked at all in Missing Persons. Anytime someone would ask me a question, I would just look at Terry. I didn't always mind. I was happy to be in their control, happy to be the girl between Terry and Warren. They were big status symbols to me coming out of Frank's band. I was a lucky fucking chick. I wanted to be famous. It was still the only thing in my mind. I knew Terry and Warren were brilliant geniuses, but like all geniuses, they were weird. We were making a lot of money. The label paid us $30,000 a month, $10,000 each. We were rolling in the dough. We were now rich rock stars. It was so much better than being a broke rock star. I know, I've been both. The president of Capitol at the time was a lovely man named Don Zimmerman. One night, Don took me and Terry and Warren to see Tina Turner live. She was also signed to Capitol Records. At that show, Don said, "There are three great, beautiful girls in my life: Tina Turner, Crystal Gale, and you, Dale Bozzio. You are all just alike." As a performer, you could not touch Tina Turner. She is the #1 queen of rock and roll. I wrote Destination Unknown about death. Most likely you wouldn't equate the song with that. Several of my songs are about death or dying and what lies beyond. No Way Out is also about the unknown. Writing songs for me was a chance to get noticed. Lack of attention, affection, and love as a child, combined with lots of rejection, can lead someone to need the approval of strangers. I would delve into my pencil writing as a young girl to escape. I wrote songs so someone would listen to me. I was always in need of a friend, in need of someone to love me. My song, If Only for a Moment, is the perfect example of that hunger for love and attention. The songs were on MTV, they were on the radio. The next natural step was to go on tour. I knew the band was comprised of players of the highest caliber. We rented this big bus, played in New York, and toured Canada, opening for this popular Australian band called Angel City. We were at the top of our game. As time went on, Terry, Warren, and I made some money. We were past the things we needed. We could buy whatever we wanted, but all we really wanted to do was make music. We didn't take vacations. We would grab a day off here and there when on tour. We got to tour Europe for the first time. We played in Rome. Ken Scott set up TV shows for us. We performed our song Windows, which at the time was becoming a hit in America. We were on an Italian TV show, opening for Earth, Wind, and Fire. The TV show filmed us, and in return, we could keep the video performance. That clip is very beautiful, but rarely seen. The set is a tiny room with a barrage of ceiling fans going over our heads. Warren's parents joined us in Italy while on the tour. I called Warren's father Pops. He loved me so much. He was Italian. He could recognize the courage and inspiration I had. We had a few days off, and Pops took us to Venice, Italy. A gift from him to us. It was so romantic. The city was passionate in the way that place twirled on water. We checked into this incredibly posh hotel. It was all on Pop's dime. He gave me a solid gold bracelet, full of the letter D's and diamonds. I was so happy and impressed beyond belief that we could be in Italy, thousands of miles from my childhood home in Medford, soaking in all the beauty of Venice. Warren discovered this new invention called crazy glue in Venice. It was a new substance at the time. Warren had a lot of it with him to fix his custom guitars. After a long night of drinking coffee after coffee, espresso after espresso, Warren goes back to his room wired and alone with a whole lot of crazy glue. About an hour later, Warren comes back knocking on the door. He tells Terry and I, "Come see what I did. I rearranged my hotel room. It's fantastic." Terry and I were wired on coffee, so we went walking with Warren to his hotel room. The hotel room was built way back in who knows when. It was filled with antiques and velvet, and it was posh. It had crystal ashtrays, and everything was so culturally pristine. We walked into Warren's room and see that he had crazy glued everything he could to the ceiling of his hotel room, including books, the side table, the dishes and lamps. Everything was upside down. The look on my face must have been like someone walking into the Twilight Zone. I looked at Terry and said, "I think we have a problem here." The hotel didn't like Warren's redecorating so much. It cost his dad a lot of money. They threw us out. We had to leave Venice, so we headed back on tour. After the European tour wrapped, we decided to take a vacation as a band. Sort of. We played 2 nights in Honolulu, Hawaii. We were very popular there and sold out 2 nights at this island hotspot there. We rented a huge villa on the beach and brought everyone with us. We brought my secretary, Susan Rubio, who was once Frank's secretary. We took our accountant. We had so much money. We needed an accountant. She was once in the music business herself. She sang background on Lou Reed's Walk on the Wild Side record. She was cool, and we brought this other chick, Patty, who helped me negotiate all the ideas for missing persons. It was a victorious moment, and it was all thanks to Frank Zappa, who gave us the tools to monopolize the music business.